right, good evening, and welcome to the February 5th Economic Development meeting. This meeting is being called to order at 5 p.m. And for anybody present, I'd like to remind them that this meeting is being recorded by Whitman Hanson Community Access Television. Playback times and other related information on this recording can be found at whca.tv. And for the record, we have Kimberly Cunningham, our esteemed administrative assistant, and Anthony DeFrayis, our town planner. And joining us on the phone is Chris Ernst, and in the room is Kevin Cohen and Laura Kemet. Okay, amazing. First up, we've got the minutes from January 8th, Economic Development Committee. Did everybody have a chance to review it? And if so, and if there were no changes, I will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
And,
I'll second that motion.
okay, great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And,
Aye.
okay, great. Thanks, Chris.
Will
And
you do a roll
let's,
call 'cause I'm on the phone, Laura?
yes, that would be amazing, although I'm just gonna keep saying Chris every time you say anything. But yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that would be great. So let's get into it, shall we? Discuss a business summit itinerary and plan of events for February 27th. And so let's see.
In that file
Yep,
these are the notes from the last meeting.
Okay.
They're in your hands.
yep, awesome.
Okay, which is what I sent you guys.
Yes, yep,
The red is the updated, and then I did it with blue to even say if there's more updates from there, just so we could stay on track.
okay. So I think this always happens to me, these multiple documents, I always get them all out of order. Okay, so itinerary and plan of events. So here's what I pictured, and you guys chime in and let me know if this jives with what you were picturing. Little mix and mingle, 5:30 to 6, just because some people will be late, and that gives us a little bit of time. People can grab a little bit of food. 5:30, little opening remarks, introduction of the Economic Development Committee of Tony DeFrayis, Kimberly. This is the team behind the scenes. And then quickly, and I cannot emphasize it. Oh, do you already have a proposed thing? I'm
I
making
do.
this all up. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay.
Last page.
Hopefully it's simpatico with what I
Pretty
just said.
comparable so far.
All right, well, that's good to know. Okay. Great. Oh, great. And then, yep, definitely Brady, DeCoe, Sweezy. So far, have you heard from anybody besides Sweezy?
No.
Let's not press it. Okay, let's stick with Sweezy. I think he'll give us a pithy little update. We'll know everything we need to know from a reliable first-hand source, and we can consider ourselves just moving on. So you've already sent out the invite, and that's all we really needed to do. And I do want to reach out to Ken and kind of refine what it is we want him to be talking about. What I'd really like to hear from him is, what can he do for small businesses? What should people be reaching out to him for if they are a small business? And then also, what's the legislative landscape look like for any kind of small business type of things, and he can give a general thing, but I don't want him to get into the level of detail he got into at our select board meeting. I don't think it's necessary, and it's not the right audience. So I'll have a conversation directly with him about that. And then we've got Bill McDonough from Scribende. Bill Clay, I'm gonna have to remove there. It's a long story. I don't really want to get into it here, but we've had a few little disconnects. But anyway. Bill Scribende is the one who I told you guys was an expert on, Bill McDonough from Scribende is, he did a session for the Hanson Business Network on social media and how to use social media. So I asked if I could prevail upon him to perhaps do that. And I sent him an email and he responded, but it's caught by the Barracuda Gateway on my town email, and I have no idea what he said. So that was today, so I'm gonna have to email him from my personal email and say, hey, Bill,
Or if you'd like, try forwarding it to me,
okay,
because I do have access to Barracuda,
okay.
and I might be able to open it up.
Okay, because I was like, damn it. So he had asked, what's our itinerary gonna be, and I kind of gave him the spiel that I just gave you guys. And so I basically said, I thought, like, opening remarks would be like 6-ish or so. And then, Sweezy at 6:15, have the first speaker at 6:30, which would be, I've got to confirm with Ernie Foster from Webster, but that's, my intention would be for him to be the first speaker. And what I would like him to focus on, and I had already talked to him about this, but I'll refine it further, was what do you like about being a business owner in Hanson? Why have you stayed in Hanson? What have you done to grow your business in Hanson? Give us some words of wisdom. And then move on to Bill McDonough. And I think that will be it for our sort of like, because I don't think we want to get too crazy with all kinds of presentations. So each of those guys, 15 minutes. Yeah, Chris?
Jump in for 1 second.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had talked about having the HR person, and I already secured
No,
them, so tell them that we don't need them now.
Well, no, we still need them. Did they want to, we could, and we can definitely do a little blurb and have them talk. But I thought the next piece was, after the initial kind of like conversations, I thought we would have breakout sessions. In which I want each of,
I misinterpreted that a little bit then, I'm sorry, because I had asked
no, to be honest,
together and asked them if they would make a presentation.
then let's go for it, Chris. Don't worry about it at all.
Well, I guess that we're concerned about time though, you know?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't think that's going to be too. That is something people want to know about. They do have HR questions, so and I think that if we tell people, that that's what we're going to be talking about. I mean, I think Ernie probably could talk quite a while, but I will. I can carve back. I mean, I can carve back my comments. I can ask Ken to carve back a little, and I think we can still get there. I'm not worried about it, Chris. Let's stick with it.
Okay, well, it's actually,
Yeah.
Frank Levesque is a Hanson resident. He works for Bar and Owl Advisory. He can't make it that night because he plays in a band and they have a gig, believe it or not, on a Wednesday night. But the woman who owns the advisory firm, Amy Allen, who used to be one of my partners at my prior firm, she said she would come, but she lives in Walpole, so like if we don't, I'm sure she wouldn't be heartbroken if I told her we didn't need her. She was going to come and talk about like how to deal with people that want to work remote, like remote workers and kind of post-COVID stuff that is of interest to small business. But if we're trying to cut the program, I can tell her it's fine. I guess what I'm saying. Just let me know.
Well, yeah, but so let's talk through the rest of the thing, and then maybe collectively we can decide.
We can circle back.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought we would have breakout sessions, and in my mind, I thought one of them would be, I'll ask Bill McDonough to do one, if like people can come and talk to him about social media stuff, like their concerns. I also have another woman from the Hanson Business Network who does like websites and stuff like that. I haven't asked her, but I know she'll do it, Melinda Frizzetti. So have a breakout session on that, have the town have some folks sort of in a, like, what can the town do to help you type of breakout session. And in my mind, I had thought we would have an HR breakout session if people had like burning, and again, I know people can't, it's sort of like giving legal advice. You can't really give specific, but you can give generalities like, oh, here's a resource, here's where you might look for an answer on that type of thing. What other breakout sessions do you think we should have?
If I may, Mr.
Yeah.
Chair. Chris, we have about a minute left on this first meeting, so if you'd like to switch to the second one,
Okay, I'll do that now.
so we'll disengage and start on the second one. So for just for a minute,
Okay.
we're gonna switch.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Hold that thought, Kevin. So are you gonna do a, I don't know what to call it, like a schedule of events?
Yeah, so you want it like, you want like a poster or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, and then is it possible for us to do like a supplement to the flyer that we have? That's just sort of like the same thing, schedule of events?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What do you mean?
So like basically, 5 to 5:30,
Oh, yeah.
5:30 to 6 refreshments, you know,
Mhm.
6 o'clock opening remarks, just like the agenda basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, all right. Just so people are like, oh, is it worth my while? Let me see what they're talking about and who's gonna be there.
Okay. And send that out.
Yeah, well, I'd like to be able to do the piece that you already did, that, you know, the flyer, and then have that, either like condense the flyer, like, you know.
Tighten up the flyer and
and
then
then-
put that
Yeah,
underneath.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
what I was
Okay,
hoping for.
gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that
Okay,
does.
all right. But before, Chris, are you with us again?
Oh, yeah. He hasn't joined up yet.
So Denise Alexander and Beth Sloan both confirmed that they would be there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully Beth's got a lot of stuff going on with her.
Yeah, that might change.
Yeah,
But as of right now, yeah,
Okay.
she's confirmed.
I've sent out requests to all the land boards asking for their support, or their board members. Yeah.
okay, that's great.
Um,
And how many RSVPs have you gotten so far?
Not a lot. We only have 4.
All right, well, keep in mind, we're gonna be there, and then, Ken.
Yeah, everybody has.
Oh, all right,
those right.
okay, all right. All right, so add Ken Sweezy, and then add, Barbara RSVP'd, good. And then add, John Kemet from Kemet Electric, and then, who the hell, Bill McDonough from Scorbunday, and then Foster from,
If one of the
Webster.
members could send Chris a text and ask him if he's having trouble
Yeah.
getting on.
hold on, let me, where the hell's my phone? Oh, he's trying to call me, I think. Hi, Chris. Are you having trouble joining
The
us?
3 invites that he's referring to.
Oh,
If you want to just put me on speakerphone.
yeah,
just-
well, you're on speaker, so you wanna just join us that way?
Okay.
We're gonna.
Yeah, that's fine. I can
yeah.
hear you just fine. So this is, I get the one for the 6:30, but I don't see one for 5:45, so.
Okay, all right, so, we're just going, so, we were talking about breakout sessions, and Kevin, had a thought.
So I just want to make sure we're pointing people in the right direction to all the work that we did on how to start a business that we have on our Hanson.gov.
Yep.
And then was somebody going to be speaking about hiring? And I know that might be in the HR.
That's the HR
That's
one.
the HR
But to
piece,
your
okay.
point,
And then-
can we have hard copies of our little, how to start a business?
Yes,
Okay.
that's, yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna have those. there.
Okay, all right, great. All right,
And then there's something else I was going to say, but you can come back to me.
well, it's not speaking on forever hold your
yeah.
peace, so.
Okay, so we're on the breakout table section.
Yes, so we're talking about, so far, if we have the HR people, we would have the HR breakout, which I really think people
Yeah.
wanna hear from somebody.
Yeah, I do too.
And then, social media breakout, and then, the, town support breakout. Is there something else that we think people would want to, have a resource to talk to.
We talked about insurance last time.
We did. I haven't been able to get a hold of Stephanie. Does anybody else have a
Okay.
contact?
The only other person I could think of is Donnie Ford, but I don't know if he's like, I don't know how in tune he is with like the cyber and stuff like that, which is probably what would be of interest to people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to see him tomorrow night. Since he coaches youth basketball, he comes in right after my practice at 7:00. So I could ask him if that's something that he or someone in his office could speak to.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if that's, or be willing to participate in like a breakout.
Or even if he knows somebody, you know, like if there's one of the insurance companies he purchases from has somebody who might be an expert in that, or, did I mention
Yeah.
that Barbara Arena hooked us up with the Small Business Administration?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she's gonna have a representative from this local area come there, and that would be one of the other breakout sessions, would be that there'll be a person from the Small Business Administration. And we probably should let them speak for a few minutes,
Yeah, so,
just because they're coming quite a distance,
so if
so,
we go through, if we look at the outline,
yeah.
okay, so we have suggestions for the summit, we have keynote speakers, land use boards, select board, the accessor, gonna fix that, right?
Wait, I'm gonna fix that.
The town clerk, and then provide breakout sessions. And then, so as you get to the last page of that, we talk about a person that can offer information on LLC, corporate, or in partnerships. We talked about a person for insurance needs. We
Yeah.
talked about a person who knows about cyber, a person who, for social media, and then there's the HR consultant, Frank Levesque.
Right.
Uh,
So we got the HR person, the
But you said-
insurance person we're struggling
That'll
with,
be,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so we have the-
the HR person's name is Amy Allen.
Amy Allen, okay.
That's Frank's,
Okay, so we have,
basically Frank's boss.
so we have the HR person, do we have the social media person?
Yes,
Okay. Person who knows about cyber, do we have that?
no, that's the insurance
Okay.
person, which we do not
So,
have.
not yet. So the cyber and the insurance needs would be a combination?
Well, that's what we were thinking, is that the
Okay.
person who was talking about insurance would be talking about cyber.
Okay.
I don't know anybody who's like a cyber security expert who, I mean, I guess I could, Joe.
Oh, I have a client who, I guess I think there's two different things at play. Like nowadays, businesses are all like trying to decide if they need to have cyber insurance and like what will that cover if they buy it. That's a different discussion than like what do you do to protect yourself against cyber attacks. That's a different discipline, I guess. So when we talk about cyber, I guess what are we thinking?
I think people could talk to their own insurance agent about the cyber insurance.
Yeah.
But the cybersecurity attack piece, I think, is what people would want to know about.
Okay, so you're looking for someone who can like sit at a round table and have a discussion about that.
Yeah,
Joe Campbell.
Okay.
Joe
I
Campbell.
thought about Joe.
is a potential.
All right, do you have anybody in mind? Chris?
The only person I have, I have a client who that's what they do. The other people that get called in to, remedy those situations and negotiate with the ransomware people. But like, it's not a Hanson person. I'd rather, if we have someone who's tied to Hanson, I think that's.
We do,
That
but
would be-
like, he doesn't do this as a like, he's employed by somebody who does this, and it's not in Hanson, he just happens to, I prevail upon Joe for so many things, it's insane, like DJing, like, it's really
He's a
ridiculous.
DJ too?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
so,
if you want me, I could reach out to Wayne at Secure One and ask him if he or someone on his staff. It'd probably be someone on his staff who would do it. But if you want me to do that, I'm happy to.
I think that would be great.
Okay, so,
Okay.
So,
a person that can offer
Okay.
information on LLC, corporate, and partnerships, do we have that person?
No, that would have to be an attorney.
Okay, yeah, and that probably costs money.
Yeah, I don't,
I don't know any local attorneys that might speak,
Is that something that Becky Coletta could do, or is that not her discipline? I don't know
No,
exactly.
no,
what-
she definitely could speak about that. I don't know if she's actually still practicing law right now.
Okay.
I'm not too sure. I can reach out to her.
Okay. Becky Coletta.
Becky Clutter.
And I'm sending in text right now about this eyebrows if I can get an answer during this call. So
All right,
So
and
as-
if he says no, then I'll ask Joe.
Okay. So as we go through, it's make sure everyone from the Hanson Business Network comes to support the summit. You've probably
Yes.
reached out to all of them.
Yes, I have.
Okay. And would one be willing to share how they started their business? That's going to be.
That's gonna be Ernie.
Ernie.
Yep.
Okay. And Stephanie Lipinski we're not sure.
I'm still working on that.
Okay. Possible. Bill Clay is a definite.
No, that one
Clay
is.
was,
Yeah,
Bill Clay is not. Okay.
yeah.
Barbara Rayner, we're good. Rockland Trust, anyone there?
I didn't say I would follow up on Rockland Trust. I don't know anybody there.
No, you had,
No,
there
you
was
just-
just a suggestion.
Oh,
You suggested that, and then you said you knew,
Jenny
oh.
Buck.
Gina Buckley,
Jenny-
Northeastern, I know.
Okay, Gina Buckley, so
Um,
Northeastern Bank, so no
yeah.
Rockland Trust, but maybe Northeastern Bank.
I will heavily encourage her to come. She is part of Hanson Business Network anyway, so.
So we'll put
Yep.
question mark.
Yep.
Ed Sheeran, like the same.
Same thing. He's part of Hanson Business, Sheehan,
Sheehan,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
sorry. You guys talk fast, sometimes I can't.
So then, department head meeting, we have not had one. I assume we probably will have one this month. I don't know for sure, though. Metro Chamber of Commerce, Kim did email an invitation to the executive director, Chris Cooney. South Shore Chamber of Commerce, Kim did email an invitation to the new president, Tim Cahill, and he said yes.
Oh,
So-
okay.
So that's all the people that we have.
All right,
or
and,
VIPs, if you will.
I would
can I
like
ask
to,
can I ask a question?
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so just so I can give them details. So for the roundtable, like how much time are we thinking that people would go to multiple roundtables? Would they like come and go as they want to, or would it be almost like?
I kind of thought it would be like open office hours. I mean, I don't know. Talk to me.
That's
If you-
how I see
If
it.
you guys think that we should have them give mini little talks and then take questions, we could do it that way. I don't know. We're making this stuff up. It's our first go around.
Yeah, no, I'm not passionate one way or another. I just want to give him, I'm going to tell him what to expect. When I'm asking him to commit.
I
That's
think
all.
probably it makes sense to me for us to have somebody have like a 2-minute, here's why I'm an expert and you might want to ask me questions, kind of like stump speech. And then just open it up for people who come over to them, for questions.
And lots of business cards. And
Yes.
as a reminder to the committee,
Yes.
bring your business
I
cards
have
that
them
you
in my
have.
pocketbook at all
So-
times. Yep. I would love to have the new building commissioner come. If he
he's
starts on
available.
Monday,
Yeah.
so if we could get him to come, I think that would be amazing.
Okay.
All right, is there anybody else that we should be reaching out to? And have we sent letters to businesses? Did we do that or not? No. Did we talk about doing that or?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yes,
sent-
I
we
sent
sent-
out
we
the
sent the
flyer to
flyers.
every business.
Oh,
that
okay,
I have.
all right,
I sent
okay,
out
all
to
right,
every
okay.
business.
And when did we do that?
A while ago.
Okay.
Well, at least over a week ago.
And do we have emails that we can send people?
Some have emails.
So can we try to whatever extent we've got emails for people to do a blast email to people? Okay,
Yeah, so we had the list.
Yep.
And we sent it to everyone on the list.
okay,
We sent them a flyer. And we know some of them received it because they did RSVP.
okay,
And I've actually had a few business people in town hall doing business. And I mentioned it to them, and they said, "Oh yeah, we got the flyer. We're gonna be there." So like Heidi's Hollow, they said they're gonna be there.
Okay,
And they had an RSVP, but they said they're gonna be there.
Okay.
So,
all right.
and then I
Great.
think- then actually they did send us an RSVP.
They did end up
But
sending.
they
yeah.
did say they were gonna be there, so.
Okay,
I have reached out to the Whitman Hanson Cable. They sent me an email of how they sort of set things up. If you want, I can meet with them to go over like, how they set things up, and then they'll come and they'll record.
yeah, that's totally fine. You can
Okay.
just go with that, yeah.
This is going to go in the Whitman Hanson Express. That almost ate into the budget a little bit. I was gonna try and run it for 3 weeks and in color, and that would have been almost $700. So I went with 2 weeks in color, and so that's gonna be a little over $400.
Can she put it in the calendar, and can she do an article about it too, since we're throwing her some money on the advertising?
Well, one thing she did say is that she would try and run it as a PSA the week of the 20th if
Okay.
they have room.
Okay,
Because when I saw the number, I was kind of like, "Whoa, wait a minute!"
Yeah.
I told her, "Look, we're gonna have to go with 2 weeks because we have a very limited budget here."
yeah,
So that's gonna be in there. It is on the sign out front.
I saw that. yeah.
So
And are we gonna do the electronic signs?
No,
we don't have access to electronic signs. We asked. The electronic signs, I was told, are in storage.
What?
That's what I was told. We inquired. I actually, when we were talking about signs, I was actually, my thought was, well, we're gonna do it on the electronic sign. Not even realizing that we have a static sign,
Yeah,
so they were like, oh, well, we have a static sign. I'm like, we do? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, geez, I'll be honest with you, it's like background noise. You drive by it, you don't see it.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought it was gonna be the electronic sign. Oh, no, it's in storage. And
That's
I'm like,
weird.
and I'm like,
I could swear I
okay.
just saw one of them for something. Okay, I'm not gonna, okay, all right, that's fine. All right, so now it's a matter of,
And we've hit all the social media net.
all right, and let's
Town
keep,
needs social
let's keep hitting the social media, and, are you guys reaching out and trying to invite people?
Yeah, I've mentioned a couple people.
Okay.
But
And Chris, have you been
Hopefully.
working working your magic? Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
yeah,
Okay, I really hope people show up, because it would be disappointing if they don't, but, that's fine, we'll carry on.
So one of the other things is, I think that's probably where you're going, is refreshments.
Yes, so that is where I was going, so, at what point do you need to pull the trigger on, ordering?
well,
And-
I'd like to do Meadowbrook because I thought that with Chris and his relationship with Deb, it would probably get us further than me trying to do
Yes,
anything.
yep, yep,
So, Chris had mentioned that she needs about 2 weeks' notice, and that he'd reached out to her after we knew what our budget was. And so, what's this budget though, that is 1,600, that's our total year budget.
Yeah, so right now is $1,637.61. So we know that about 400 of that's kind of gonna go towards the Whitman Hanson Express. So we'll have around $1,200 budget-ish. Also spoke with our town accountant, because I want to make sure that we could use the money for the
Yeah.
budget for this. And-
Yeah.
And I said, this is outreach, and I explained it to him, he said, yes, you can, and just obviously keep all the receipts, keep everything, but yes, that money can be used towards that.
all right, at the risk of stating the obvious, I want to keep this as cheap as possible. What can we,
So water's cheap.
Water.
and water's cheap and snacks are cheap.
correct? But I mean, it's 5:30 to 8, that's rather
So-
cruel to
Yeah,
do
you
to
gotta-
people. We gotta give them something, or it's gonna be a hangry group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
So you have snacks, and then we could just talk to Deb, as Chris said, she could sort of work magic with the,
Yeah, usually I just tell her, like, when I have these types of things, here's what I have to spend. What do you recommend? What will go the furthest? There's certain things that she says, like, they just tend to go far.
Okay, so what do
If
we
you want
want?
something like really hearty, like a lot of times she'll do, even for something like this, like the mac and cheese, because people just take a scoop of it and it's super hearty. Like she'll tell us, we got to just give her the number, and then she'll and how many people, and she'll tell me what will go the furthest for that
All
kind
right,
of
what
money.
do we want to say as our number?
it's 500, too much, not
I
enough?
think 500 works for me.
I think it has to be like,
Yeah.
probably 500.
I feel
Yeah,
comfortable with that.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And what are we thinking, like 50 people?
Yeah, I think,
Yeah,
That's kind of what I
that's
had
the
in
other
my
thing.
mind.
Yeah, that's the other thing we have to figure out is, we have to make an assumption of, let's say, 50 people,
yep,
you know?
Yeah.
And I think that would work.
okay. Obviously, I'm disappointed.
What
I
about
want
the
hundreds,
purchase of
but
the-
it's fine.
Who takes
Well,
care of the purchase of the water? How does that work? Because we wouldn't have Meadowbrook do the water, right?
One of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they would just do, and then we need to think about like paper goods, which I'm sure we could just get at like Dollar Tree, but,
Yep,
and your napkins, forks, knives, that kind of stuff, depending on what we have. But if I tell her 550 people, I gotta go in there this weekend,
okay,
to talk with her about another event that I'm having for Little League, so so let me see what she recommends.
okay, that would be awesome. Thanks, Chris.
I know that, we've reached out to Dory. We wanted to have this meeting tonight, and then Kim and I are gonna go try and get over there like tomorrow or first thing next week to just kind of sit down with them and walk around and figure out how we want to sort of lay things out.
Yeah,
You know, give them an idea of what we're planning and get things, how we're gonna get things set up. We was also, Kim was talking about basically it's sort of like, what'd you call them, tents or, for the tables?
Yeah, just
Oh,
a little
like-
table tent that says, planning department, Tony DeFries, town planner. Whatever the breakout session is, to just have someone's name and, the name of their company or what
Yep.
they're there for. You can go to the dollar store and get those for $1.25 a piece, so however many breakout sessions we'll have.
so why don't we take a vote, well, we should take a vote on the 500, and we should also take a vote on the advertising for you, although, I know you've covered, but, I mean, we told you to go ahead and do it, but we just didn't specify dollar amounts. And then we should give you a budget of extras, for water, blah, 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 blah.
Water, paper goods,
Yeah, all
and
right, so I will entertain a motion to allow Mr. DeFreeze to spend $400 on advertising.
So moved. Was it more than 400? Just.
It's probably gonna be about 450.
All right,
Okay, so.
up to 500, we'll just
Okay.
leave it
So,
there.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so moved for the up to 500.
All right, do I have a second? Chris?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, all right, roll call?
Sorry.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye, this
Okay.
is Chris.
yep, great, okay, and then do I hear a motion to allow us to spend up to $500 for food?
So moved.
So moved. I'll second that. This is
Okay.
Chris.
Roll call?
Aye.
This is Chris, and I'm an aye.
Aye, okay, and then do I have a motion, what do you think, up to $50? Do you think that's enough for water and paper plates and stuff like that, or 100, should we say?
go for 100.
All right, up to $100 for paper plates, water, various other types of things that we might need that we can't even anticipate, like name tags.
Oh, name tags, yeah.
Tents, blah, blah, blah. I will entertain that motion.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call?
Aye.
This is Chris, and I'm an aye.
Aye, okay, great.
Okay.
All right. What else? Anything else on that subject, obviously? We've got other stuff, but,
No, I think we've hit everything that we wanted to talk about. Yeah?
I'm
You say the
excited.
same thing, Kim?
Now we have to really beat the drum and try to get people to come.
Exactly, yeah.
And again, it doesn't have to be an existing business owner, it could be an aspiring
Yes,
business
yeah,
owner.
Yeah, and like I said, anyone that's come into town hall that is a business owner and has discussion, I hit them with, hey, we're having a business summit,
I like it, awesome.
And we have flyers downstairs.
I saw
have
that.
a flyer outside planning board. We're trying to do everything we can, other than spotlights.
Yeah.
You know?
I saw that. Well,
Man,
Yeah.
yeah, we do have, well, no, I won't go there, all right. How about, town planner update, Mr. DeFreeze?
There's not too much to say. I mean, the summit was the biggest thing.
What about the potential walk back on the MBTA community grants, related grants?
Well, so when Mr. Sweezy was here, he let us know that if right now the town was awarded 2 grants in at the end of 2024, it totaled to just over $300,000. The contract would have been executed on January 1st because of the issue, we'll say non-compliance. They did not execute the contract. Mr. Sweezy, I spoke with him the day after the select board meeting, and he was immediately on the phone. And so it was a case of when Hanson files their action plan by February 13th, then by the end of February, with the action plan in, they will execute the contracts. So we would get that $300,000, which covers 2 grants. And then I would think that they wouldn't pull those from us, because once the contract is executed, that would be a breach of contract, and I don't think that they would probably go down that road.
Yep.
At least I would hope they wouldn't. And then after that, we'll see what happens as far as what the town's flavor, if they want to pursue.
We will be
compliance.
talking about that at our next meeting, so hopefully you're able to join us on
Yep.
Tuesday night, just for at least that little session.
Yep.
It's actually gonna be a joy fest on next Tuesday. We're giving all these awards for people for we're calling it the Above and Beyond Award, for people, the first responders, so it's gonna be a lot of happy stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
sure there'll be
oh.
some Debbie Downer stuff, but, you know.
There'll be some discussion regarding the MBTA issue at the planning board meeting on Monday. We posted the agenda, so we'll see where it goes from there.
So, okay, great. And Mr. Sweezy did reach out to me, Representative Sweezy reached out to me yesterday just to confirm, like, did I hear you guys right, that you are gonna file the action plan, but like the rest of it, you don't know? And I said that was the way we left it at the last meeting, so
Yes, the action plan, I've filled out the online form. The town administrator has provided me with a letter with the statement that she's signed on the town letterhead. And so all that needs to be done at this point is to submit it.
Yeah, I think the thing that caught people really off guard was when our legal counsel got on the phone and said, FYI, if it's your intention to keep local control, if you do not,
Yeah, there's a thermonuclear option. basically.
they are going to tell you where
Right.
your zone is going to be. You will have no control over it,
Right.
and they may even hire people to approve permits for that particular section.
Or tell the building commissioner,
You just need to,
you
yeah.
need to issue the permit,
Yep.
which then would put your building commissioner in a difficult situation because of let's say, a town saying, well, we don't want to do this, and the state saying, you have to do this. You're probably going to have a building commissioner that's going to go, I resign.
Yes.
I'm not dealing with this.
Well, we don't want that. We
You know?
just got them starting on Monday,
You know,
so.
there's a flip side that's like, let's say, a thermonuclear option from the other side. If you're a landowner and the town doesn't comply, a developer or landowner going, well, I'm going to sue you because in essence you're taking my land without compensating me, because let's say I could have made $1 million off it because it's MBTA and as of right now I can only make 500,000. Well, you owe me 500 grand. It's one of those. Could it happen? Probably not, but it could be out there. You might have a developer that goes, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of gears, moving parts.
So, I know it's a controversial subject, but we do know that at least we can claw back that $300,000
Right,
worth of grant.
which is big
Yeah,
because
it is big.
one would be for economic development at the industrial park,
Yep.
and the second one would be for the cleanup down at.
They
Hot
both
Tap.
directly impact, they're both goals that came partly from the Economic Development Committee, because of, obviously, the industrial park is one, but the cleanup, if we're gonna do anything with Hawks Ave, we have to clean it up.
Right.
And the bad news is, we know that there's a problem now.
Right.
And now that we know there's a problem, we're on notice that we've gotta do something about it.
Right.
And yet we don't have the money to do
Right.
anything
And
about it without the grant, so,
Right, and it's, to do the cleanup is $237,000, which is what the grant covers.
yeah.
So, if we don't get it, then yeah, then you have to go to town meeting and say, okay, now we need $237,000 for this.
Yeah,
And if it's the town's will, the people's will to not comply, then the immediate, if it never makes it to town meeting, or if it does make it to town meeting and the article is shot down, then the next article after that one would have to be for appropriating money to defend through legal counsel.
yeah, because the DEP is not, now that it's a known, they're not gonna let it just sit and not be remedied,
Right,
so.
right.
Yeah.
You'd have some articles that would have some serious money attached to them.
Are you saying something?
Oh, I had to leave pretty.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think we're wrapping up.
That's
Yeah.
all. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, March meeting, when should we be meeting in March? What's everybody's availability?
Let's-
So are we gonna try to have like a quick meetup before this,
It's probably not a bad
before
idea.
this?
We-
I mean, I'm like one of those over-prepared people.
No,
When it comes to these kinds of
yeah.
things, so I'm just like a little stressed about, I mean, I know we can, it's tough because we can't deliberate an email, so I'm responding to emails and I'm just responding to Kim and Tony, but, you know, I don't know, I feel like even if we did a call.
Yeah, I mean, we could have,
It'd be
we
worth
could
having like
do
a
a,
half an hour call and
Yeah,
just,
why don't we try to do, yeah,
I mean, we could do a Zoom, and I'd like to have a discussion with you about that after the
Yep.
meeting, Madam Chair. We could do a Zoom, and we could post it, and we could post a link as part of the agenda, so you could just do everything remote.
I'm fine, in fact, I'm even fine, I was thinking, because Kev, I know you're traveling a lot, Chris. I don't know that it's necessary for us to physically be here all the time for the meeting, and I feel bad that Tony and Kim are having to physically be here when there are new, regulations that have said, like, you can do
Yeah,
the remote.
you can do remote up
You know,
until like
so,
at the end of March.
what do you guys, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to, I don't know.
Till
what-
the end of March? Is that what you said?
Yeah, but I think.
They're looking at extending it.
Yeah,
It's part of a-
it's probably gonna be extended.
It's proposed to
Yeah.
extend it. So let's work on the quick meetup before the summit. What are we looking at? Like, the summit is
like
on
a
a,
week before or something, you know?
So the
19th.
summit's on the 27th, so you could either do the 19th or the 20th. Wednesdays seem to work for everyone, if that, we could do the 19th.
I thought everybody was on February vacation that week.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm working, so I'm not going anywhere,
I'm
but,
not going anywhere.
Oh, all right, okay, all right.
I'm happy to
So,
do it if,
that's fine, so why don't we try can people do the Wednesday before, just for half an hour, like 5:30 to 6?
So February 19th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Does that work for
5:36.
everybody?
That works, yeah.
okay,
I'll make the
so was it
motion.
the 19th at what time? I'm sorry.
5:30.
Okay, and we're doing it over Zoom.
Yeah, we'll just do it, just a quick little, make sure we've got all
Yeah,
our
we're
ducks
all
in
on
a
the same
row.
page.
Yep,
I
yep,
like it.
yep. Okay, so you made a
I'll make
motion,
the
and
motion for
do I have a
February
second?
19th.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call?
Aye.
This is Chris and I'm an I.
Aye. Okay, great. And then for our March meeting, what's the thought process?
If we're sticking to Wednesdays, you have the 5th, the 12th, the 19th, or the 26th.
But the 12th, 19th, or the 26th. I personally would really like to stay away from the 12th, because that will be a fire drill week for me. So if we could stay away from the 12th, I'm open for anything else. Do we want to say the 19th?
Let's see the 19th, yeah.
Okay,
Are you okay with that, Chris?
does that work for you?
Yeah.
Can you say the date one more time? I'm just trying
March
to pull my
19th.
calendar.
March 19th.
All right, hold on a second. So March 19th. So February 19th is the call about the summit, and then
Yep.
March 19th would be our normal meeting. I can do March 19th.
Okay, I know this is a crazy time for you, so,
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
I will always do my best. The good news is that's after March 15th, which is one of my deadlines. So,
yep. Okay, okay, great.
same time, 5:30.
Yep, 5:30.
So I'll make the motion for a regularly scheduled meeting to be March 19th at 5:30. Second.
Can you second
I'll
that?
second that.
Okay, and then roll call?
Aye.
This is Chris, and I'm an I.
Aye. Okay, amazing. Anything else that we haven't covered? All right, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second that motion. This is Chris.
Okay, roll call.
Aye.
Aye.
And this is Chris, and I'm an aye.
All right, amazing. Thanks again, Chris. I really appreciate you calling
Thank you,
in.
everyone. I appreciate it.
All right, ciao.
All